Ladies and gentlemen, Cabo Pulmo, the Cinderella of the Sea of Cortez. We stayed 2 nights in an eco-lodge near the beach and found the coolest, little-known but amazing spot for snorkeling. We've done a fair bit of beach snorkeling in Baja, and this was definitely the most secluded we've seen. If you're planning to visit the area, be sure to check out our blog post where we share advice on things like the accommodations and things to do. Also, consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and clicking the notifications bell to get notified when we post new videos.
I done been notifying you.
Now back to the adventure.
Cabo Pulmo is a very remote place that runs entirely on solar and septic. When researching accommodations, we learned that most places manage their reservations by email or phone call only. For some reason, we weren't comfortable trusting a reservation without confirmation through an online booking form, so we kept looking. After a bit more digging, we found a site that offered online room and expedition bookings. We booked a 2-night stay and a snorkeling session, which we would later learn was basically useless despite our email communication with one of the guys running the operation. More on this later.
Sir, ready? Hi. Just want to look for you. That's it. Thanks, sir.
Cool, thanks.
With our bags packed and tickets in hand, we got on our plane and flew to our first stop, which was San Jose del Cabo. We didn't know this before arriving, but you're only allowed 2 cameras, not including your phone's camera, coming into Mexico. Luckily, we each only had a DSLR and GoPro, so no tears this time, but something we'll definitely keep in mind for future visits.
Pro tip, use the ATMs that allow withdrawal straight to pesos. You'll get a better exchange rate and you'll save time. Also, there is a withdrawal limit of $300 per card per day.
Does not exceed the date of withdrawal.
Okay. Finally, dollars exchanged for pesos, it was time to arrange transportation to our hotel. We tried getting an Uber and saw several drivers active, but weren't able to make a pickup request.
1,100 pesos later, 900 for the fare and 200 for a tip, we got in our taxi and took off to our hotel, Hyatt Place Los Cabos.
Do they allow Uber drivers to the airport?
Yes,
They
can
do,
drop you
okay.
there, but they cannot pick it up.
They can't pick you up,
That's
okay.
right.
Okay. It's the bathroom. Apparently, there's some kind of bureaucratic pay-to-play arrangement going on wherein smaller taxi services like rideshare gig workers, whose fare is typically 1/3 of the cost of taxis or shuttles, aren't allowed to pick you up from the airport, but they can drop you off. For better or worse, you basically have 2 options for transportation from the airport, either hire a taxi or pay a shuttle service. And there's plugs, just no dedicated USB. This guy doesn't work even after turning on the TV. And these plugs, again, you'll need an adapter. And the view. Alas, we'd made the drive safely and were sorely in need of some margaritas and grub. But first, a quick stop to La Comer to get snacks and wine for our stay in remote Cabo Pulmo. Is there chips on this side or?
La Comer is kind of like a Mexican Walmart. They have everything from groceries to clothes to electronics and more. They also offer online ordering, but we were kind of curious to see their market and it did not disappoint. We usually beeline it to the nearest Cloudfish Jr. or at Tacos Gardenias, but we were feeling a little fancy and decided on sushi at Caje Sushi instead. This was absolutely the right choice.
We got the ceviche con mango because we love mango ceviches and also because it was the only non-butthole burning spicy option.
We also got 2 rolls that we can't remember the names of, and of course, margaritas. Arguably the best ceviche and sushi we've ever had. Everything was superb. Thank you, Caje Sushi!
Good morning. Day 2 started off with iced coffee from Abre Ojos Cafe. The plan for the day was to pick up the Jeep we rented and drive up the coast road Camino Cabo Este. It was a 2-hour drive that we intended to break up with stops along the way to maybe do some impromptu snorkeling and or sightseeing.
Alright, we're getting double whammied by some bad news, good news, bad things happening to us per usual.
Can't have our cake and eat it too.
Can't have nice things. Got our car. Our girlfriend who helped us out said she does not recommend going the coastal route due to some bad terrain. I don't know why she cares because I paid her more money to cover this car. So she should be stoked.
Yeah, that's some frustrating news to get when that's part of the reason we're even renting a car.
Yeah.
The only way to get to El Arbolito is to travel that road at some point.
Yeah. So we may not take the whole route, but it looks like that's gonna change a bit. But we've got a car.
We had booked a Jeep Renegade or something similar on their website. Our receipt states that we received a standard crossover automatico. Whatever it was, it didn't strike us as a strong off-road vehicle, so we decided to err on the side of caution and took the San Jose del Cabo La Paz route. There's still a stretch of gravel road on this route, but it's only a 20-minute, 10-kilometer section that isn't a problem for most vehicles. Just keep in mind that you may be in areas of no cell service at times.
Arriving in Cabo Pulmo was an absolute dream. We went the second week of February and the weather was so nice. Though, apparently, we lucked out as we later learned from others that it had been nothing but storms the past few days. The snorkeling gods were smiling down on us and it felt great. After taking a quick peek at the beach, we went to check in at the place we thought we had reservations at. Evidently, there was some confusion amongst the staff as to what platform they were using to accept reservations through, and the room we'd booked wasn't available.
I don't understand. I made a reservation. Do you have my reservation?
Yes, we do. Unfortunately, we ran out of cars.
Fortunately, they were able to arrange accommodations for us at another eco lodge near the beach that was similar to the one we thought we had booked, and we were, of course, thrilled. Has anyone else out there stayed in Cabo Pulmo? If so, we'd love to hear about your experience in the comments.
The lodge we'd be staying in wasn't going to be ready for a couple of hours, so we bolted to tacos and beer for some, well, tacos and beer. Thumping with the fat cumbia vibes of La Bicicleta by Carlos Vives and Shakira, we knew this place was legit. You want a beer? Yeah. We each had a fish and shrimp taco with custom toppings from the taco bar and washed them down with a couple Baja classics. This place is a must if you ever find yourself in town.
Flavoring in the coating. It's not just plain, it's not just.
Cool. Finally walking on the beach of Cabo Pulmo after many hours of driving around aimlessly trying to find a damn thing. We found it.
We had a few hours to kill, so we headed north to check out the campgrounds and to head up to Pulmo Point, where we had a view of Cabo Pulmo all to our own. Our draw to this location was the ample tide pools, which, if you've watched our channel, are one of our favorite things to explore on the coast. The downtime was a welcome reprieve from the non-stop travel and gave us space to digest the multiple changes in plan thus far. And travel's vast where plans are spun, intentions dance neath the sun. But obstacles they often greet, testing our stride, our steady beat. With patience as our guiding light, we pivot swift, embrace the flight. For in the ebb of plans undone, new paths emerge, a victory won. A poem by ChatGPT.
The most important thing here is to be careful with electricity because we have solar power. Yeah. So nothing to plug in, it takes a lot of power, no hair dryer. Yeah.
Right.
Where are you guys from?
I'm from Utah.
Utah?
Just
Why is
in
so
your
white?
backyard.
It's snowing there.
Yes.
So we had to
It's a
get
blizzard.
here.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, a lot of snow. Okay, so anything you guys need, let me know.
Cool.
I guess the keys are right here.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
Yes, we will.
Thanks, Maribel. There's a few mission critical things to know before staying in Cabo Pulmo. First, there's no gas stations or ATMs, so be sure to come with a full tank and plenty of cash or prepare to make a stop in the nearest place that does, La Ribera, 30 minutes north. Second, there is cell service in town, but it may not always be reliable, though we were able to stream one of our favorite TV shows, and I have heard that some eco lodges have Starlink now, so this may be changing. Third, there's no grocery stores, just a few tiny shops, so it's a good idea to stock up in San Jose del Cabo. Just don't get things that require refrigeration. Lastly, Cabo Pulmo enjoys a semi-arid climate with warm temperatures most of the time, but it does occasionally rain, so pack accordingly. Very romantic. Wow, this is beautiful. This is just
Come out.
stunning.
Take a spin, you great. Check out our background.
Just this amazing desert landscape. And it just goes all the way around. Gato negro, gato negro, gato negro, gato negro.
It's at 1/30th of a second. 60 frames, 8,000 ISO.
Ronnie's being a real stumbler.
Oh, stumble bumble, hey?
Yeah. Is that your baby?
Yeah, who's that weirdo? Let me come.
Good morning. It's 9.
It's a little overcast this morning. Thought it might rain.
But it didn't. It's quite beautiful.
The story of Cabo Pulmo is fascinating, really. It's kind of a miracle that the reef even exists today. A little history for context, Cabo Pulmo was once a popular commercial fishing area that eventually became so overfished that the whole fish population almost collapsed entirely, and probably would have if it weren't for a group of local fishermen who lobbied the government to make the reef a protected conservation effort. Their work finally paid off in 1995 when Mexican President Ernesto Zedillo declared the 71.11 square kilometer area surrounding Cabo Pulmo a federally protected national marine park. With the help of multiple nonprofit organizations and marine scientists, the park was able to not only make a full recovery, but more than doubled its original fish population. The success of the conservation campaign resulted in a huge improvement to the local economy and biodiversity of the reef, and is often used as a model for creating sustainable governance for marine protected areas.
Anxiety. Think we'll be okay though.
If you choose to explore the park, please remember your ecotourism matters. No single-use plastics, wear reef-safe sunscreen, and respect marine life and their habitats by keeping a safe distance and refraining from feeding or disturbing them. Also, consider patronizing eco-friendly businesses and tour operators that support local conservation efforts.
You happy?
Mind-blowing how hard it is when your body's just like, hey. This is water. I think I feel good. And then once the snorkel comes on, I get a little panicky, but not the cold. It feels good to get out of it. It'll warm up. But I think Ronnie will be cold.
The first spot we checked out was on the west side of the bay, where there wasn't really any wave break, and the water was quite murky as a result. It was making it hard to swim and just wasn't doing it for us. It does look like there might be some wave break over there. Okay, here's our spot. Heading out through this little nook here. There was a nice little sand path that led out to the calmer area where we didn't have to fight the waves, the water was clearer, and there was much more to see. She made it.
At last, we finally got to snorkel in Cabo Pulmo National Park. And while we didn't get to see the grandeur of the reef, we did get to see some of her marine life and bathe in her turquoise waters, a much-needed victory that, again, we celebrated with tacos and beer, and aguachiles, and ceviches, and margaritas. Yeah.
The day at the beach and our indulgence at lunch tuckered us plumb out, so we siesta till dinner at El Caballero, where we enjoyed some more margaritas, their poblano chicken, and butterfly shrimp in lemon butter sauce with mashed potatoes and steamed veggies. As we were tucking in and winding down for our last night in Cabo Pulmo, we were thrilled to find we had service and retired with one of our favorite TV shows.
Oh, that's not the man.
There's a right, finally. Cut it, turn right.
Whoa, what a ride! Alright, and not a day too late for the next morning. We awoke to overcast skies and gnarly waves, something that would have hampered our snorkeling plans for sure. Alas, we were all adventured out and ready to go home, but not before grabbing a coffee from Los Tornados and saying our goodbyes to the beach and the tide pools.
We drove back to San Jose del Cabo and checked into our hotel at Las Palmas. This place is kind of a maze, but at half the cost of the Marriott, worth it.
Bienvenidos. Televisor en el tablí. Aquí tiene su.
Gracias mucho, amigo.
Con permiso.
Tenga buen día.
Igualmente.
We had dinner at a place called Mar de Fondo. I think they've since moved locations, but it used to be a short 2-minute walk north of Las Palmas, and the food was amazing. It's hard to overstate how much we love Baja California. The beaches, the food, the people. As a couple of kids who don't have a lot of money, it's often a challenge to find vacations that are affordable and accessible.
Cabo Pulmo has won a special place in our Baja hearts, and we hope you enjoyed seeing it with us as much as we enjoyed sharing it. If you stuck around this far and haven't yet subscribed, maybe consider clicking that button. You might just like what we have to share next.
I love action like that.
Shut up. Shut up. She's a spook.
They were like, time to die.